Hello, today we're going to do the Progression Preamp. We're going to cover the installation and we'll go through the user manual. We have the top piece here, so we're just going to put this on the side really gently, and we're going to take our feet, and you can see that there's 4 threaded spots for the feet. So we're just going to put these feet in. The reason we don't ship them with the feet on is because they can get damaged when they go into the power supply. So all 4 feet, and then when you position it, if you can, get somebody to help you. This one's quite light, so just put it in nice and gently. These are our RCA inputs. You see it's labeled phono and aux. The top is left, the bottom is right. You can use them interchangeable. They are for phono preamps or anything else you might want to plug in using RCA. Here we have our outputs. We have theater, radio, server, DAC. Radio, server, and DAC are all interchangeable. The theater does only go to 70%. The outputs, zone 1, zone 2, the top is left, the bottom is right. RS-232, if you wanted to do some custom code, or we have all of ours on the website. If you wanted to program it, that is where you would do that. We have the 12-volt trigger right here, and the antenna and the DC in right there. So before you plug in your AC, plug in the umbilical cord. It can be either one of these, and it doesn't matter if it's the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top, but make sure you plug this cord in first. Otherwise, you can damage the unit, and then you plug in the AC. Like that. If you have to move it, just do the same thing. Pull the power plug and then pull the umbilical cord. The other thing you're going to want to do from the back is install the antenna. On the antenna spot, make sure that it is tight when it goes in there. So go all the way, nice and hand tight right on there, because this does spin freely without it. If you have a DAC, there will be another antenna, then you'll install it on there. And then please flip the antenna up. We have our DAC installed on this Progression Preamp. This DAC plate is blank. We have our coax, our optical in, USB-B, and our Ethernet. And another antenna. Make sure you also install this antenna on your DACs, so your app can talk to your preamp or progression integrated or momentum integrated or whatever you are using. And make sure it's tight. So you should have, if you have DACs, you should have 2 antennas. That's important. You should see the orange light flashing, the green light flashing from your Ethernet cable. You won't get in this? If you have a source with an optical output, use the optical cable in right here. Just like that, and the other side is also optical. Use a TOS link. If you want to connect to a computer, use a USB-B to a USB-A cable, and you can connect from a computer to it. If you would like to use SPDIF, use the RCA connector right here, just like that, to RCA. So sources can be plugged in that have an optical cable with TOS-Link. Please use TOS-Link. To power on your unit, press standby. So if you cycle through the inputs, you'll see that there's music coming. We only have 1 channel hooked up. If you go to server, the volume will remember what you were on. So if you raise it really high on 1, it'll still remember that, except for theater. If you go to theater, it'll max it, and then it'll drop it back to 0 if you go back to whatever you were listening to. So we go to theater, and then we go to DAC, and it's quiet. And now there's volume again. But if we go to server, turn up the volume, you see that it's much louder. Here I have it in DAC, analog DAC. We can go server, radio, We'll see theater jump for a second, aux, and phono. We have zone 1, zone 2, and zone 1 and zone 2. And then to turn off, just go back into standby. Our remotes do not come with the batteries installed. So to install the batteries, take all 4 screws out, pop it open. We do supply batteries. Put these in, and then put the plate back on. And then there is an initial pairing. To pair the remote, you don't have to do a whole lot. If anything, just be patient. This one is paired. All you need to do is make sure that the AC is on and this thing is at least has power to it. And the remote will take 15 seconds maybe at the most to connect. If it doesn't do it right away, cycle the power, but it should pair after about 15 seconds. If you hold down mute in Polarity, it can also pair your remote. Just hold it down for 15 seconds and it will connect if it doesn't connect automatically. To invert the polarity, simply press Polarity and it will turn red. To get out of it, just press it again. To set the balance, press balance. To reset balance, just hold it. There we go. And then we can cycle through our inputs, phono, aux, theater, radio, server, mute. You can see the unit will flash when it is in mute. To come out of mute, press mute again. And then we can always change the volume from the remote control. From the remote, you cannot change the gain. The gain has to be changed from the actual unit itself. Even though the remote does say aux and power or power and phono, it will not change the gain from the remote. So the default gain is 9.8 dB. So to increase it to 15.4, we're gonna hold down standby and press aux. And the unit needs to be on. So we're gonna have it on and then we're gonna flip it off, hold down those buttons on the front, and then we're gonna flip it back on and we'll hear a click. That takes a little bit longer. And now we're in high gain, and if we wanna lower it, we're gonna hold down standby and phono, flip our power down, and then we'll flip our power back up. And now we're back in default gain. To do dark mode, so dark mode for our units works where the light is illuminated for as long as you are using the unit. Once you stop, after a few seconds, the unit will go black like this. So the way we do it is from the unit, hold down standby, and now it's on, and we will see that the unit will go black. And then now it's in dark mode, but if we turn the volume, we see that it is activated and now deactivated again. But like I said, it'll come back. To get rid of it, go back to standby and then hold it down. And now we're out of dark mode. To factory reset, if you want to reset this whole thing, make sure the power is on, press standby, hold down standby and zone, and reset the whole unit. Thank you for watching our installation video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below.